friends. I wanted to talk to you about transition words today. In our writing, any piece that we are writing, we need to use transition words to help our story flow keep going. This is a stoplight. This should look very familiar to you. If you know anything about a stoplight, each color of the stoplight means something different. So the dot part of the stoplight is a green button. This is the beginning of our story. This would go right after our introductory sentence. We put our introductory sentence and then we're going to pick one of these words. Some of the words you can use for the green part is first, in the beginning, once upon a time, one day, and to begin. These are all words that'll start your story and get your reader involved in the steps that happen. The next part is the yellow part. The yellow part, if you know about stoplights, means to slow down. This is where the chunk of your story goes. This is the middle part. So in our stories, that slow down is where we're going to put all of those details that we've done. So in this yellow part, some of the words we might use are next, then, after, later that day, second, third, fourth. This is where we're going to put all those details in our writing. Finally, the last part of our writing is the red part. The red part means stop. On a stoplight, when you see this, that means you need to stop. And in our stories, that means this is coming to the end. This is the very end of our story. Usually this is our wrap-up sentence, or it would be the part right before our wrap-up sentence to kind of give that last very strong detail. So we might use words like last, finally, in the end, at last, and as you can see. I wanted to be able to talk to you about these words because I want you to start to use them in your stories. You're going to be able to see a stoplight picture that gives these three colors for you to, as a reminder, to use. We're going to write a story today. We've been working on opinion pieces. So I'm going to start with my opinion on something. So I'm going to use blue as my normal color that you see. And I'm going to start writing. I think summer is the best. That's a very strong opinion. I think summer is the best. Now I want to give my reader those reasons why. So I have decided to use, to help me make sure that I have all the parts of my stoplight, I'm going to use the different colors of my stoplight. The first color we had is green. I'm going to flip my chart over so you can see. Some of those green words would be first, in the beginning, once upon a time. I think I'm going to start with the word first. I start right after I ended my other sentence. First, comma, you can swim in the pool. See, when we make a mistake, we don't need to scribble it. We can just X it out. Sometimes that happens. Remember, this is our rough draft. So sometimes when we make a mistake, we could just X it off, or we could change the word as we go. So I decided to put first, you can swim in the pool. I think to me, that's one of the best parts about summer. Now, the middle part of my stoplight was my yellow color. So I'm going to switch over to my chart again, and I'm going to look and say, all right, I want to pick a couple words from this section. Now, remember, when we're writing our pieces, we have our introductory sentence, we have our very first sentence, and then we have a couple details. We're counting across our hand. So we're going to use our hand to help us. So I want to get at least, if I can, I want to get at least two more details, those middle pieces. So I'm going to use the word next. Next, I can spend all day with my kids. There's no school in the summer, right? So now I get to spend all day with my kids. So because I get to spend all day with my kids, that's a big deal to me. especially as a mom of three. I want to do that. And for you guys, you might have put like, next I can spend all day outside, or there's no school. So there's one of those, sometimes those things that makes us happy for summer. I still need another reason, so I'm going to still keep my yellow marker out. Then you can go on vacation. Summer is a big time for vacations. And since I'm home with my kids and I get to have them there, I at that point can go on vacation. So now I've had my introductory sentence, the one that's on my thumb. I've had my first sentence that I started with my transition word first. I have my next sentence that I started with next. And then I have my next one after that I started with the word then. So I'm at the point that I can put one of my last sentences. So I'm switching to my red marker. My red marker tells me that this is the end. This is my last reason. And I think I'm going to pick the word last for mine. But you could pick any one of those words at the bottom. And this one's one of my favorites. I still have room over here, so I think I'm going to start right there because we keep my paragraph going. Last, you can wear flip-flops all the time. And that's a big deal to Mrs. Paul because I love to wear flip-flops. So those are my transition word sentences. Now, I could leave it here because I did use the word last, but I think I'm still going to do what we did in our other stories and use my closing sentence. So remember, when we do our closing sentences, we can restate what we said at the beginning in different words. We could ask our reader a question. We can tell them where to go get more information. So we can give another strong opinion at the end. Because I'm writing an opinion piece, I'm not going to pick an opinion. I could restate it and say that I think summer is the best and rephrase it down here again and change it. But I think this time I'm going to ask my readers a question. I'm going to ask them, don't you agree? Now that I gave my readers some things to think about, some reasons that supported my opinion, now I'm going to ask them, well, don't you agree now? So we added one of those questions. Transition words are very important and they keep our whole story growing. So these words I want to start to see in your writing. And remember, you're going to use your stoplight. So as you're writing today, use, if you can, a green crayon marker or color pencil, a yellow crayon marker or color pencil, and a red one to help make sure that you have all of those pieces in your paragraph and story writing as we do our work today. Good luck.